Howdy everybody. Let me make sure this is working right. Yeah, we're going good. So I'm on Barkley Lake today. I haven't been down here in a long time, probably 6 months or so. But I wanted to do a video on something that I haven't fished in a long time. I'm on a show, one of my viewers requested showing them what different fish look like on the Sonar. So I was like, well, that'll be a good Lake Barkley trip. The wind's supposed to be out of the south today, not too bad. So what I look for, when I mean that, what I look for is I want the wind to be blowing the same way the current does. That way it just keeps everything straight, everything works a lot better. So I sat and studied last night. The wind's supposed to be out of the southwest. I sat and studied last night where on this lake is the river the most southwest at, because generally it flows out of the southeast. Wind out of the southwest and southeast, you can make it work, but I wanted to get on the stretch of the river that, comes out of the southwest as much as I can. But anyways, I'm gonna show, what I look for whenever I first get out on a lake. I've got my stylus. That's gonna point at my depth finder. It's the only thing I could find. I thought about using my my shad knife, but y'all don't want to see that. So I'm gonna turn around here, and what I'm gonna do is get on the ledge along this river channel, and I'm gonna look for big balls of shad and then fish below them. The water temperature's 38, so I'm, again, knowing bait movements is very helpful. So if the water temperature's 38, they're more than likely gonna be deep until the sun goes to hitting it real hard. Then they might start moving up into the creek channels later on this evening. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But anyways, I'm gonna go make a circle here and see if I can find some shad and get anchored up on them. So you can look right here is the river channel, and I'm fixing to drop off in deeper water right now. I'm wanting to be on the other side of the river channel and kind of keep my nose of the boat upwind. And I'm gonna run down this bank right here looking for shad. That bank, that drop off. Because see, the wind is gonna be coming from this direction and the water flow goes like that. I'm gonna get on over here. So I'm about to the edge of that river channel. I'm gonna flip her on over to 2D sonar. That's what I mainly use for catfishing. You can start seeing a few fish right there, kind of getting thicker. So that's on that drop off right there. There's a few fish there. I don't think they're catfish. Now see how them fish is different looking from them fish. Them's probably 3 or 4 catfish laying there with their tails up, kind of feeding. But we still ain't found what we're looking for. I'm gonna flip her back and see how far I am from that ledge and drop off. Should be getting right over it. See the ledge, see the boat. starting to get some fish in there. I see how them fish is getting real thick right there. We're fixing to get to that ledge. And then I'm gonna make a right, go down that ledge until I find shad, which that very easily can be just solid shad down there. I'm gonna flip her over to, now see, I flipped her over to down scan and it's just a big cloud down there, so that's more than likely shad. I'm gonna flip her back to 2D. See how the water depth's 40, 41, and it's just solid fish down through there. Right there on that drop off, that ledge. We're fixing to go up over the drop off. And we got them that's probably, they're a harder signature than what was down there in the river channel a while ago. So them's probably not catfish. Them's probably Asian carp, whatever. And I just zigzag over that ledge until I find what I'm looking for. Which back there wouldn't have been a bad place to fish. See, we're getting back into the shad right there. See how it goes solid right there? That's just solid shad down there. I do not know how the sun glare is doing right now. See, we're sort of getting back off in the river channel away from that drop off right now. So I'm gonna cut back left. Like I said, sorry about the sun glare. Let's see, I can take away. There's a big old cloud of shad suspended right there. That is for sure shad. I'm gonna put her in down scan so you can see the cloud. See the little cloud right there? There's another one coming up. So them catfish lay in them shad in the wintertime. Anywhere that you can find them shad like that and fish underneath them like that is a good place to fish. We're probably gonna anchor somewhere. See, we're getting into a bunch of shad at the top of that drop off right there. I'm probably gonna anchor somewhere and just give them a whirl here. I'm gonna point the nose upstream. See, we're getting plumb way up in shallow water now. I'm gonna point the nose of the boat upwind and upstream and throw an anchor out and throw dead shad in there with them big balls of live shad. Anytime you come to a lake and you fish it for the first time, you want to concentrate on the drop-offs and ledges and just kind of stay with them, and then you'll locate fish. You'll locate fish pretty quick. Sorry about the sun again. I was looking. There's some pretty doggone good signatures right there. A bigger catfish. That's probably bigger catfish right there. Guys, if you're wanting to learn sonar, the best way that I figured out, see, we're in 30 foot of water right now, and there's a lot of fish concentrated on this drop-off down through here. So what is happening here is you got the sun coming in from our right. That drop-off's on the left. So that sun's beating down underneath this water on that drop-off, and it's got all these fish concentrated right here on this. And it's gonna be good fishing here. I'm just kind of piddling, showing y'all what I look for. See, there's fish laying on the bottom here, and then you got this big ball of shad right here. You know, other fish like stripers, bass, crappie, whatever gets in there and eats that big ball of shad, goes through there and, you know, just kills them and gar and stuff like that. And look at these. This is a big old pile of shad right here. They get in there and they kill that stuff, run through it and kill it, and then them catfish lay below it. I'm gonna switch her over to down scan. See, that is just, them's bigger shad and them's littler shad right there. That's just a big old ball of shad. But I primarily use 2D sonar for catfish, just due to the fact, like I said, I'll flip it back over to down scan because I'm more familiar with 2D. I've always used it, know what to look for. I've got a Garmin 93 SV. I love that sonar. I've become familiar with it. For me to go to something different, you'd have to almost pay me just because I'm so familiar with it. And, you know, I don't like to get updates on it. I don't like anybody messing with it. But anyways, I'm gonna go back through there, and I wished I would have thought and hit record. Let me turn around. Maybe I can get back to where I show you where I'm on an anchor. Anywhere along that stretch where I just went through will be pretty good. I gotta get my stylus back out. We're gonna anchor right above this ball of shad, throw down into these bigger fish right there. So I'm just gonna hang her right, point my nose upstream, go about 15, 20 foot and throw an anchor down. You see, now we're running into bottom. So we want the boat to be sitting right here where we're at. So I'll see y'all here directly. I'm gonna fling some poles out and get everything straightened out. So I've got the boat setting cattywampus with that ledge. And I like doing that because I can put one pole on the ledge, one pole in the middle of the ledge, and then one pole in the river channel up above everything. It just seems to work. You know, if them fish is coming up into them shad like that, then you're gonna get them up higher on the ledge. If them fish is sluggish, they're gonna be out in the river channel behind them shad. It's just always worked that way. I like it when Erin comes with me because then I can put her 2 poles on the ledge and I can fish the river channel. I've got some good fresh shad that I caught last night and some bigger ones so I can cut them. I'm pretty stoked about today. I've always loved fishing this lake. This is the lake that I caught my first blue cat in whenever I was very young. I'm gonna start out smaller baits and work my way up. I'm using 3 ounces of weight. That's gonna be in the river channel. It's gonna take it a while to sink. And we got a little bit of a flow. I'm gonna run 3 poles until such time as I can't, until I locate fish, and then I'll drop down to 2 poles. here before too long. See, I work so doggone much. I was gonna bring the camera last night to get shad and show y'all what I do to get shad. But time I got off from work and everything messed around, I only had an hour or so to go get shad. So I was like, I better go get some real quick. And my home lakes froze over, so I had to go way up north into some springs. And that's how I got the bigger shad. I think we're gonna have some fun today. I really do. See, that one only sunk, you know, it's up on the ledge. It's only about 20 foot deep where that one landed. And we are fishing. And there's a possibility that we might have to fish the mouths of creeks. I've took that into account. But I wanted to show y'all what I look for when I initially start fishing. And I do the same thing in river channels and everything else. I look for bait. Of course, bait's a little bit harder to find in rivers because it scatters so much. What I don't have is my dip net out and ready. Center pole. So he was off in the river channel right at the base of the ledge. That fish was. Didn't act like a big one. This Barkley Lake's plumb full of eater-sized blue cat, but I didn't bring nothing to put them in to eat them. I actually prefer the channel cat out of my home lake to eat. Them fish will probably get more and more active as the day progresses because of this hot sunshine shining down on them. It's probably the warmest this water's gonna have been in the last 2 weeks. So they might eventually get up on the ledge or in the mouths of the creeks. I just can't tell if there's any current here or not. So that tells me there ain't a lot of current in here. Now the doggies are taking off with it, folks. He's a going down. And he come loose. I'll give it 5 minutes down there with that fish and reel it in and check bait. I don't remember if that was my cut bait or my headpiece. I don't think that was the same fish that bit it the first time. Right hand pole's going down slow, going down. God dog, he dropped it too. He was going down slow with that. But see guys, it's just that easy if you can find shad. Like I said, I hadn't been on this lake 20 minutes. I put the boat in it. It is 10:02. I put the boat in at 9:20. It's one of the things I love about the winter time is anytime you can find that bait like that, you can catch fish. Now then a feller might have to hunt for a big one, but that's okay too. That's the fun of hunting big ones. And you never know, you might sit here and catch a 40-pounder today. That last fish that bit was a bigger fish than bit on that center pole. I don't know why they keep dropping it. That pole up on the ledge hasn't got a bite yet, but I'll go ahead and keep it there just to make sure. Center pole Like I said, boys, we're gonna have some fun today. I always do whenever I go to a lake. Well, I have fun anytime I fish, but I love to fish lakes when I get a chance. These lakes down here facing north and south like they do, you almost got to have a north or south wind to fish them right. And in the wintertime, it's so hard to find a south wind when I'm off from work. It's usually blowing out of the north about 30 miles an hour. Now then, we just need to catch one. One of them will fool around and get hooked here directly. I think I'm gathering up a tangled up mess. Take you a gander at him. About 1.5 pounds fish. Like I said, this Barkley Lake's plumb full of them. I don't think he's gonna stay on the hook, but then again, he might. And there is bigger ones out here. Don't kid yourself. But well, like I said, we might have to work and find them. Be perfect eating size if we had a bucket to put them in. He was just swimming around down there and got him a shad and screwed up. Back to fishing. Right hand pole. I'm gonna reel on him. See, that left hand pole has not got a bite yet. But as the water warms up, they'll probably move up on that flat. I keep thinking that this might be a better fish if he ever gets hooked. But then again, he hasn't got hooked. We're gonna give him about 10 more minutes here, and then we're gonna look for a different place, a different I don't know, just something different. Oh, is he hooked now? I think that's one about the same size I just caught. That center pole got another nudge. That center pole almost tried to get serious. Now guys, this is a little bit bigger of a fish. Now look at my right hand pole going crazy. That fish finally got hooked. It's the world we live in. It's not a bad problem, but it's still a problem. This fish coming plumb to the top out there. That dog, it's a pretty doggone good fish. I don't like it when they're on top of the water. I was watching that right hand pole, making sure it wasn't going to go to strip and drag right out of the bucket. Boy, these things are sluggish. Can't tell you how big he is. Probably about 10, 12, 15 pounds. I don't know, he might be a hair bigger than that. So he was out there on the, and way out in the river channel. Probably a hair more current out there. That fish on that right hand pole's still on there. Oh, that's a pretty doggone good lake fish. I'll have to see if I can't burp him. So hunting this shad, within 15 minutes we got 2 fish in the boat, one weighed about 15 pounds, another one on the rod, taking off. And just by following the shad, like I said guys, I haven't been out here in 6 months. Anybody can do that with decent sonar. And fresh bait. That fish will go 20, 25. I gotta get this other fish in. Maybe even 30, that's a good fish. I did not think he was that big. This and here's another dip netter. Oh, I'm about to lose my pole off in the drink. Now I've got issues right now, guys. It's called a cluster. Yeah, this one ain't as big as I thought he was. Still a good fish, dip netter. I don't know, he might. I don't know, it's hard to say in the wintertime. It's hard to say, he might be as big as that other. Still no bite on that left-hand pole. Big old male fish. Burly son of a buck. I mean, that fish has had the abuse. I kind of want to get him in the boat, but I can't see how good he's hooked. Whoo! If that fish right there was full on pounds, he'd weigh as much as that other, if not more, if he was full. All right. I want to try to get both these up, hold them up for the camera. There's my first tangled up mess. Lay him down in that where he's already got it white or wet so it don't scar him up anymore. This doggone sinker can find this dip net all the time. That's the only thing I don't like about coin sinkers. All right, get it up out of my way. Get this thing up out of my way. It's tangled up on some stuff on my boat. This up out of the fish. See if I can get this one to burp. Okay. I don't think it's air in him, I think it's food. "15 minutes of following shad, guys. I've got 60 pounds of fish in my hand. And bloody knuckles, 'cause no glove. They just destroyed everything I was doing, just destroyed it. So here's my rig I use, and I use this primarily in the winter time, and I'll use it in the lakes, the rivers, everywhere I go. I just vary the weight of the sinker. I just gotta, and I've switched over to braid here recently on my leader because it's more abrasive resistant, and I feel like it gives the bait a more natural, flopping in the winter down there. I just got a leader, a swivel, and a sinker slide, and a 3-ounce coin weight. And then and this is either a 10 or a 12-aught circle hook. I don't know, can't tell by looking at it by itself. But I use bigger hooks. It just seems like the hookup ratio is better to me, and I do not want to miss a big fish. And no current, I hook a piece of shad on there just like that through his eyeballs. I'll cut him open right behind the gut pocket. If they're bigger, I'll split him right there again, and then use the other end of it for a chunk of bait without the tail on it. And I'm gonna fling this way out there in the middle of the river channel, because that seems where the bigger ones are biting. And every once in a while when I'm letting that sink, I'll hit my thumb on the spool to keep everything tight. Keeps the bait out behind the sinker. If you let it fall directly down like that, then that bait's sitting there doing that, tying up on everything. But if you keep it falling, like that, then it don't tangle up near as bad. In a lake, in the river, it don't really matter a lot because the current's there to keep everything from tangling up. I think that was a 10-aught, and I think this one's a 12-aught. Same thing. I won't go much bigger than a 12-aught, just due to the fact that then it becomes an issue of that hook affecting your bait presentation. But I won't go much littler than a 10-aught. That left-hand pole, it took me about 10 minutes to regroup after them 2 fish because everything was tangled up. That left-hand pole never got a bite. But I'm gonna keep her right there just due to the fact that if one grabs it, that's great. If one don't grab it, I got 2 poles that's getting bites consistently. And I am, and if I don't get a sure enough big in here before too long, I am gonna move around a little bit. Because my success has done and happened. I wanted to show y'all what I do for fish. Them shad that I was showing you on Sonar is right out there exactly where I'm throwing them poles. Right hand pole again. What he's gonna do is dabble with it until that other one gets a fish on it, and then I'm gonna have 2 on it again. In my book, there's no better time to catfish than when it's so cold. I had to break ice getting out of the cove. There's no better time to catfish than right now. From the end of December to the 1st of March. We're gonna give them about 10 more minutes here, and then we're gonna move around just a little bit, and I'll do the same exact thing. I'll look for shad, preferably in a little bit of a heavier current area. All right, guys, this is the same kind of scenario we was in a while ago. We're about a quarter mile from where we was at a while ago when we first sat down. Steep drop off, we're sitting on the top of the drop off. Full of shad right along the drop off. and a bunch of fish down there. We was sitting, when we first sat down, we was sitting a quarter mile right that way. Something else that's going on here too. This is a mud bottom. So a mud bottom in the sunlight heats up quicker. I usually give them about 10-15 minutes in the winter time. If I ain't got a bite in 15 minutes, I usually vacate. Sometimes you gotta sit for a while on them. I can't do it. I've always moved a bunch. On a bad day, I'll move 20 times. It's probably pulled me off a fish before, but it's just me. I know it's getting windy. So much for the 10-mile-an-hour wind. I'm gonna reel this pole in just for educational purposes and put it right here at my end of the drop-off. Give it about 5 minutes. If we don't catch anything, we're gonna go on down. I feel like them fish quit biting for some reason. Don't know why. They should have just continually bit more and more today. I don't think they've quit biting. I think they have done something different. We'll just have to go find them. Center pole. I'm gonna start reeling everything in, guys, and regroup. I think they're here. I think what's happening is by the time one of them bites, this boat moves and screws them up. Dog, I got him. For now. I don't know what in the world he's doing. He is upset. Oh, God. A little bit bigger than I thought he was. Nice 5-pound blue. Pretty fish. He was just swimming along like that. He found him a shad. I'm gonna throw him back in there before he. Center pole, center pole. Center pole quit. If these fish was smart, they'd go ahead and commit. Because I'm gonna throw them back in the water. Oh, he about had it. He about went down with it. They're just soft biting right now. This morning they piddle with it and then go ahead and take it. We're gonna go try one more place and then call it. Well, we're out here spot locked over a ledge in the river channel. See how that goes for us. See if we get any bites here pretty quick. If we don't, we're gonna skin out. I think we got in the highest traffic area we could get for boats. Looks like the crappie fishermen are ready to roll. A bunch of shad down there. Hopefully that turns into a big blue cat pretty quick. I was kind of hoping there's more current out here, and I can't figure it out. I know it's a lot wavier out here, but I don't know if that's from boat traffic or the wind. Thinking spot lock might hold this boat a little steadier, I don't know. Never hurts to try new things, folks. One thing ain't working like you want it to, try something different. At least with spot lock on that trolling motor, I can keep one end of the boat sitting sturdy. Right hand pole. I can already tell you there's more fish here than what was where we was last fishing. I'd like to get a couple more real quick. But see, this is an outside bend with a little bit more current in it. And it was plumb full of shad. Dog, I'll tell you one thing, it is sure floppy here. Come on, baby. How in the world do you not hook a fish that's been on that pole? So what he done is drop that thing right when I started reeling. I'm getting over anxious. Fish on finally. See, he kind of slammed it. God dog, I got a fish on my left-hand pole now. He's tangled up in my cord. Another pretty healthy fish, 3-pound blue 4. I don't know, did that? I wonder if that fish come off that left-hand pole. Well, we got another barge coming and I'm right in the shipping lane. It's about 10 minutes out. Because I will have to move. Maybe even closer than 10 minutes. I'm gonna do my closing right now. That way I can just fish till it gets here and then skin out. Well, guys, it's been fun. Caught a couple good ones for Barkley Lake today. I'd been wanting to do this video and show y'all how I locate fish and everything for a little bit, but like I said, it's so hard to do in the river. I'll probably start doing it quite a bit more now that I know how to make my camera work on my depth finder. I will see y'all the next time, unless we get another bite in the next 5 minutes.